Show me the manual that defines normal thinking. Where's the scale? Who decided how much analysis is too much? If overthinking exists, then logically there must be normal thinking and underthinking as well. But nobody's published the official guidelines for optimal brain usage. There is no international standard for daily thought quotas. No thinking meter that beeps when you've exceeded your allotted mental processing time. The term is applied completely arbitrarily, usually to anyone who thinks more than what makes others comfortable. Overthinking is a shaming label disguised as concern. But here's what's really happening when someone gets labeled an overthinker. Their brain is trying to solve an unsolvable puzzle made of contradictory information. It's not a malfunction, it's a healthy response to a broken environment. Your brain evolved to find patterns, establish cause and effect, make sense of the world around you. When reality refuses to form a coherent picture, your mental processing goes into overdrive, trying to force the pieces together. This happens because people constantly lie, contradict themselves, and spout bullshit with confident faces. Their masks don't match their actual content. Their words contradict their body language. Their actions oppose their stated values. Your brain tries to use logical analysis to make sense of this chaos, but since there's no logic there, it just overheats trying to explain the unexplainable. You analyze that weird look your coworker gave you because something felt off, but you can't pinpoint what. You replay conversations searching for hidden meanings, because the surface explanation doesn't match the emotional undertones you detected. You just can't shrug and go eat your muesli when things don't add up. This isn't a character flaw. This is a functioning detection system trying to parse a world full of mixed signals, hidden agendas, and contradictory social rules. The real problem isn't that you're thinking too much. The problem is that you're surrounded by people who've learned to think too little. They've trained themselves to ignore inconsistencies, accept nonsensical explanations, and stop asking inconvenient questions. The people who don't overthink have learned to function on autopilot. They accept contradictory instructions without noticing the contradiction. They smile when their boss praises teamwork while promoting backstabbers. They don't question why their hard work gets rewarded with more work. They operate on pre-installed scripts and mistake following patterns for intelligence. When someone tells you to stop overthinking, what they're really saying is, stop noticing things that make me uncomfortable. Stop analyzing situations I'd rather not examine. Stop asking questions I can't answer. The system prefers people who don't think independently. They're easier to control. Most people operate on templates, and for them, any attempt at original thought looks like overthinking. They've confused mental automation with being smart. Your brain keeps churning because it's trying to resolve contradictions that can't be resolved. The data doesn't make sense because the system isn't designed to make sense. It's designed to confuse, manipulate, and exhaust you into compliance. Overthinking happens when you receive contradictory signals from a system that demands you pretend everything makes sense. Your brain tries to reconcile the impossible, that meritocracy exists in a rigged game, that institutions serve you while extracting from you, that freedom means following endless rules. No amount of thinking can solve a problem that was designed to be unsolvable. You overthink because you haven't yet accepted that most human interactions are theater, Most social rules are arbitrary, and most explanations are cover stories for something else entirely. The people who don't overthink have simply given up trying to understand. They've accepted that nothing has to make sense, that people say things they don't mean, that systems promise things they don't deliver. But your brain refuses to accept this chaos as normal. It keeps searching for the logic, the pattern, the underlying truth that would make everything click into place. And that search drives you crazy because you're looking for rational explanations in an irrational world. The anxiety, the endless mental loops, the inability to just let it go, these aren't symptoms of a thinking disorder. Thinking disorder. Yeah. Thinking disorder. They're symptoms of a mind that hasn't yet surrendered to absurdity. You can't just eat your breakfast and ignore the fact that your friend's text message has a completely different tone than usual. You can't just accept that your boss praised your work while simultaneously undermining your project. You can't just take it easy when people's actions contradict their words. And you shouldn't have to. The fact that you notice these inconsistencies means your cognitive equipment is working correctly. The problem isn't your processing power, it's the quality of the data you're trying to process. Those who label you an overthinker are really asking you to stop thinking critically about a world that doesn't want to be examined too closely. Your overthinking isn't a bug, it's a feature. And in a world full of people who've turned off their analytical functions, someone needs to keep asking the questions that everyone else has learned to ignore. The system only seems incomprehensible until you understand how it actually works. Once you see the mechanisms behind the chaos, your mental processor stops overheating and you can redirect your analytical power towards something more constructive. Understanding these mechanisms, that's what this channel and my books are about. They say I don't blink. Here's the blinking. Enough for the next 10 videos.